Well, hello my fellow car modelers, how you doing today? Listen, I got this idea to put this video together because I have been making some videos that have a subject matter that some of you might not be interested in, so you don't click on, but I put really cool tips in everything that I do. And I got to thinking, you know, and watching some stuff gets more hits than others, so you know, I watch the telemetry on every video. And I noticed not a lot of people were watching my unbuilt Porsche 911, which I don't know why. It's fantastic. If you didn't watch that, but you build race cars, I showed some tips on there that will help you out in other types of race car type builds, or just model cars that might have race car stuff on them. I threw this kind of together of just the tips I did on that video, and then I also added one more from a video that I put out a while ago, but it's a series that I kind of stopped working on, so I pulled the video, but I had a really good tip on doing tire lettering. It's just a combination of a bunch of little tips that I think you guys will like, so check it out, tell me what you think. If you don't like it, if you want me to stop doing this, well, tell me. Put it down in the comments below. I read everything. Alright, but let's just get in with it. And you'll probably like this. The roll bar padding. This roll bar padding is, I can even give you a little quick tutorial with some photos. I'll just do a slideshow. But basically how that's all done is that's heat shrink. I would take a piece of aluminum tubing that's about the same diameter as whatever roll cage I'm wanting to cover. I'd slide heat shrink over it. I'd heat it up with either a lighter or a heat gun, whatever you have that would heat up heat shrink, and let it shrink up to the tubing. If I needed to bend it a little to have like bends, like I would bend the tubing a little bit so the heat shrink would kind of bend. Before I would take the heat shrink off of the tubing, and before the heat shrink cools down, I would take the back of a X-Acto blade and just kind of roll it and run over, and it would make these indentions here of where the straps would be. Doing the heating up, it would make it a little more puffier looking, it would fit the roll cage perfect, and then to take it off, just put a slice in it, pull it off the tubing, then it would just clip right onto the roll bar. And then I would take some more of that Detail Masters detail wire, whatever color you want, to simulate zip ties, and I would just put the zip tie around and twist it up and flip it over and kind of cut it, and it would look like a zip tie. That's how I would get that look. What do you think? And we'll just let you have another little gander at that whole chassis right there. Let's see if we can get around there so you get a good look at all my little detail wiring. I just took the small little wiring you get from Detail Masters. They have detail wiring. I love that stuff. I get multiple colors and I can make little looms and stuff like that. I think it gives a great look. Where the pedals are and the floor, you see that silver right there? That's to look like Dynamat or something like that. Basically heat insulation. I used the foil out of Marlboro cigarettes. That I got to give that credit to Clay Kemp. He did that years ago on a model race car, and I thought it looked so cool, and I was a smoker. I just kept that, and when I'd find different colors I'd keep that stuff. So if you know a smoker, if you're not a smoker, ask them for their cigarette boxes when they're done, because especially if they smoke Marlboros, it's kind of like the best looking foil paper inside there, and you want to stock that stuff up. Dashboard and everything, that's right out of the 933 GT2 kit. So let's take a look at the dashboard if we can. Get a good angle there. You can see right there I just kind of hand painted all the gauges, and then I dropped a little bit of clear in there just so it looks like there's a lens over them, and did whatever needed to be do with switches with silver or a little red right there, because that's the startup switch, and a little Momo steering wheel right there that came in the 993 kit. You see that shifter right there? That's just a piece of wire. I used the shifter out of the kit and just added wire right here to make more like just a rod, make it look a little more race car-y. These flares have been heavily reworked, and I'll show you some pictures of what I did with them. But there's a lot of reworking right here to get these wider. It's a lot wider than stock.
So I'm going to go ahead and put our decals on here of our lettering, and I'll show you the little tricks I do to make it look as best as you can and look real and kind of like been on the car and a little used. I might do these big Hoosiers right there, the bigger ones. You have like big Hoosiers, there's like B2 of them, one there on a lot of these super stock cars. Let's go ahead and get working on that. I'm gonna go ahead and cut a couple of these out. There we go with the first set for a tire. So it's kind of big, and that's what a lot of the Hoosiers do. Put one on the top and one on the bottom. Let's get those all soaked up wet. We're going to get our mark fit right here. All right, let's see if they're getting ready to slide off. Hopefully we don't got any cracking. Nope, looks good. All right, so we'll put them in just for a couple more seconds here. And now I think we're pretty much ready. So let's just take them out of the water. Whoops. Push that off to the side. I'm going to lay them right there. And we're going to start with a little bit of this mark fit. I'm going to just coat where I want to put the first one. Let's slide it off. Get a little off the edge there and just kind of pull it off. There we go. Let's get to where it fits right. There you go. It looks, it's fairly, that's the problem sometimes, they kind of generically make them round to fit all different size tires, and it's not exactly fitting the shape, so we'll get to go there somewhat look reasonable. Right about there. We'll take a little bit more of this mark fit, put it on top. We're going to let this sit for a little bit. I've let it sit there. It's softened up a bit. I'm just going to take cotton t-shirts I always have at my bench. I just want to, it's still moving around, but I'm going to dab it up a bit. I'm probably going to have to readjust. It's still there, but you can see it's taking the contour pretty good. And even when they get a little softened up, you can even reshape them a bit. Just try to directly press down on it. And we're pretty much there. Now it's kind of, yeah, you can see how it's a little bit more shinier because of, it's a decal. We're gonna chill that all out here shortly. Let me put the other one on. These are usually stenciled on the real tires, and they're not decals or printed on. They're actually just with a stencil and some spray paint. I'm going to show you how we're going to get it to have that look. It's looking good. I'm going to go ahead and do the other tire. Then we'll move on to the next step. We're going to get it to look real. I let the decals dry. I'm shaking up my TS80 flat clear from Tamiya, and I'm just going to shoot some flat clear on here. Let's get this rolling. There we go. Alrighty. We're going to go ahead and do a neat little trick that just kind of softens the whole blast in your face white. As they run them down the drag strip, they get a little darkened up and yellowed. We're going to just give it a little trick to make it look a little more realistic. So I set my airbrush up and I put some just flat black, really, really thin, super thin out. I just want it to be slight. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to slightly mist, just slightly around there. See how it kind of just darkens it up a bit? Just slightly, just a little bit. We're just gonna kill some of that heavy whiteness. Just with a light coat. So there, you can see the difference between the two. Give you a good close look. It just, knocks the edge off, gives it a little bit of a more worn look. You can even play with it more. Heck, you could put a little more on there if you want. But the trick is you want the black to be very thin, so it's almost like a translucent, because we don't want to cover that up. There we go. Let's see how that dries. I might hit just a little bit more there. Let's let it dry and take a look at what it looks like. All right, so there you have it. You got it toned down a bit. It just looks a little more realistic, at least in my opinion.
So that's how it's done. Oh, geez. Well, I don't mean to be rude and eat in front of you. I was just kicking back, eating a cold slice of pizza. I don't have any cold coffee to go with this cold slice of pizza, but I got some cold, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, whatever it is. Wash it down. Didn't mean to be rude, but I was just enjoying myself watching how that's all done. Glad I watched this. Now I know. Now I can do this. That's what I hope you are all thinking. Did you learn something? I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks a bunch for watching. I just thought I'd throw this together with you. I just had a feeling you guys are blowing off some of the videos because you don't think it's a subject you might be interested in. Well, look at that. There's something there you might have learned that you wouldn't have learned if you go, oh, I'm not into Porsches, so I'm not going to watch that. But then I didn't learn nothing because I didn't watch it. Because if you don't watch a Luka C video, Model Car Hobby Headquarters video, a Lucas Builds video, a Lucas Kits video, or whatever other kind of video put out on this channel, then you're not going to learn. And if you don't learn, then you don't learn. And we want to, gather all the tips we can, right? That's about all I got to say about it. So thanks a bunch for watching. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it, having a good time. Been getting tons of people making comments down below. I've been reading all the comments. Wow, I tell you, it is really cool to hear that all you guys like what I'm doing, and even you guys that don't like what I do and tell me that I'm a darn fool. That's great too. I like that too. Got no problem with it. But I'm going to keep on doing what I do and bringing it to you. So I want to thank all the ideas get thrown my way. I want to thank all you guys for liking what we're doing here on the Luka C channel. Because we're having a lot of fun and we're going to keep on doing it. I don't care what you say. We're just not going to stop. It's not happening. There's no way. You can't stop us. We're going to keep going. So thanks a bunch. Hope you enjoyed it. And you know what I always say? This is me, Luka C. Keep gluing those fingers together and keep on cutting that styrene. And we will see you in the next video.